morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
We can't say that. We can't say that. That's not ours.
We've got to come up with a better. We got to come up with a better version of that.
Good night, good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. Is that ours?
We're gonna get a cease and desist in like days. Hi, everybody. How's the world and where you is?
Are you tired today?
Oh, yeah. For some reason, I'm really tired today. You're gonna be able to see it in my face and hear it in my voice. For some reason, last night's sleep was not good. I don't know why, but yeah, last night's sleep was not great for me. So I apologize. I'm a little just like I've got the energy, but
it's weird energy.
It's just
It's
weird.
a weird vibe in here.
Yeah. I'm like looking at my feed here. I'm just going, man, did you get hit by a bus? Is that what's going on?
April just said, I love your hair down, Kim. I was just telling Ethan when I walked into the room, I'm like, my hair looks insane today because I slept with braids in my hair last night. But thank you.
That's good coffee.
Hi,
how are you?
Can you tell us a little bit about your mug? You talked about it the other day.
I did. Well, first, welcome to the Daily Brew. This is our daily live stream that we're doing with the crew. Get everyone together every single day and chat about things, answer questions, talk about fun stuff, whatever. We want it to be a nice little dose of positivity in your routine. And we do it pretty much every day at 11 a.m. for the morning coffee brew, and usually 4 p.m. This is Pacific Daylight Time. 4 p.m. when we do it with the adult brew variety. So today, Kim made today's coffee, and it's delicious. And she put it in my favorite mug that we have, which is the Disneyland. It's like the vintage Disneyland mug. You won't really be able to see, but it's a lot of like old vintage Disney art, maps, stuff like that.
We talked about it a couple days ago, I think. And my mug today is sticking with the Disney theme. This is my hipster Mickey mug that our good friend Destiny got for me when they went to Disneyland years ago.
I forgot that she sent us that. So checking in with the chat here, we got Brian Sands, Angie, April, Matt, Kelly, Marie Claude, S. McDowell, Katie, Austin. What's up, Austin? Deb, Little Odie 914, Francois. We got a lot of people today. It's awesome. It's fantastic. Oh, let me pause the live feed there just so it doesn't eat up bandwidth.
Can we make this longer?
We can. I left all the real estate over there.
Oh, that's great.
I'll make this the default for every day because I feel like I don't get it right. Kim, how do you get your half top knot to look so good all the time?
It started out years ago. This is a top now. Honestly, I started doing that years ago to keep my hair out of my face when I was doing my makeup. And then I just decided to start wearing it that way.
Kim was doing the top knot, the half top knot, before the half top knot
was hot.
And like, there was a time when we started seeing it on TV shows and movies, and I'd be like, that's your hairstyle. And Kim's like, wow, yeah, I was doing that like 5 or 6 years ago. Purely out of, not ease, but like.
Just to keep it out of my, because I used to do the,
like
I don't know, like, I used to do like the little tiny, like, pull back a little bit and like do a little pin here. And then, I don't know.
Girl was setting trends before trends was trending.
How do you get this part so nice every day?
The party in the back?
The party in the back is going to be like down to here by the time this is all over.
I'm going to be the Tiger King by the end of this.
Good morning, Gretchen Walla.
Good morning, Gretchen. Katharina says, Ethan, I love your injury video. So true. I appreciate that. That was the video a couple Daily Brews ago I mentioned was really hesitant to post because it felt not...
posting anything in that time and in this time in general feels like, is this appropriate?
The abnormal right now, everyone's lives are... the abnormalcy of it is becoming a bit normal. So I feel like people are more accustomed, like, let's just get back to some semblance of normalcy. So, bring the video content that we want to see and that sort of stuff. People are sort of they're finding their routines in this new abnormalcy. But at that time, everything was like shutting down left and right. Everything was super fresh. So posting that video was very like, oh man, I don't want to be insensitive. That's the word I was looking for. But the response has been really, really great. And I think it's because people can identify with injury like immediately. Everyone has dealt with injury to some degree. Uh, and I wrote it weeks before, but when I was filming it, all this was going on. So I was like, I should definitely find the parallels between what's going on and the injuries and stuff. So I think it works well now in hindsight. At the time, I was like, I shouldn't post this, but it worked out well. I think people are really receptive to it.
Yeah. Do you have anything?
Yeah, let's go to basically what we're doing on Daily Brews.
Yeah, because if you're new here, maybe you don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, we haven't like promoted this much more than to the GR crew, and it's been amazing how many GR crew members you guys are sticking around, which we really, really appreciate right now. So kind of what we do is we're going to be doing these daily live streams for the foreseeable future, and the sun just came out.
I know. It was so cold out this morning when I was walking Gus. It was like so gray and dark.
I will soak up those rays and take that as a good sign.
On? Do you have your sunscreen on?
No.
You have to stay inside.
So what we are going to try to do is do these live streams for the foreseeable future and just bring the community together for short blips of time, to 15 to 25 minutes, somewhere in there, as long as it takes to answer the questions and talk about whatever subject we talk about each day. Those subjects can be determined by the comments on the Patreon post of today's Daily Brew. So tomorrow's Daily Brew, we'll talk about whatever's posted on today's Daily Brew, which is usually a question revolving around something we're talking about today. Could be an entirely new question. But yes, that's kind of how it will be. So Christian, so we're going back to Daily Brew number 6, which was actually 2 days ago because yesterday was Ginger Runner Live. Christian, love the Daily Show. Have been running on road daily. Have been dealing with injury for the last 6 months. Ankle injury. Been running road every day, 8 to 10K. So far, so good. And Christian is commenting I'm seeing that Christian's commenting on the Patreon post in real time based off of our conversations. And he recommends visiting Brittany, France, which I feel like I've actually driven through when I was a teenager and traveling with my parents. I think we went through Brittany, which is just beautiful. France was just incredible. Someday we'll go. Mary says, so how will you each train to maintain your long distance fitness in the coming months? Types of cross training, weights, yoga, summer details, please, says Mary. It's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to jump on it first?
Yeah. So I don't know necessarily. Everybody's different, right? So there's some people that are really leaning into this time and like getting their biggest mileage weeks ever. And yes, I see your glasses are fogging. It's adorable. And finding a lot of joy in their running right now. A lot of people are really confined to where they can run. Me personally, my stress reaction to this whole thing a couple weeks ago was the opposite of what I thought it was. So I thought I was going to be like, all right, fine, this is going on, but I'm going to stick to my 50-mile training because I have a 50-mile race in April that's canceled. And I was just starting to like peak a little bit in my training. But the opposite happened, and I just wasn't. Running was not making me happy because I was too anxious and I was too stressed and I was too overwhelmed with what was going on. So I really cut back. So I'm maintaining my running, maybe not long distance running, but I am putting in a handful of miles, like 5 days a week right now. So for the foreseeable future, I'm just kind of going to be doing runs anywhere from like 4 to maybe 6 or 8 miles. All of our miles right now, because in Washington, we can't drive to trailheads and all the trails are closed. Like literally all the trails are closed. So we're just kind of doing neighborhood stuff. So that's my plan right now, is just kind of stick to kind of easier miles with some strides thrown in, keep it pretty low mileage. Road tends to beat my hips up a lot. And as far as other types of cross training, I'm doing daily yoga, which I've talked about in the previous shows. I think I'm on day 19 or 18 of the 30 days of yoga with Adrian. And I know some of you guys have actually messaged me after I talked about it. And some of you guys are doing it also. So I think that's really, really cool. And then I do have a road bike. It is not here, and I wish it was here.
Yeah.
So
we Kim's road bike, when she moved from Canada to Los Angeles, we kept it in storage with her parents.
Yeah.
And a lot of her stuff, like kitchen stuff and a lot of her home goods. When we moved from Los Angeles to Seattle, we were thinking, oh, we're going to gradually start moving that stuff down because, one, we're closer. It'll be easier to get across the border in small chunks. And someday we'll have the space that we can accommodate all of it. We don't have that space. So unfortunately, her bike has stayed at her parents' house. And this is like...
We were there at Christmas.
We talked about
grabbing it at Christmas, and then we didn't. I mean, we could never have predicted that. Like, in my mind, I was like, oh, we'll be back at my parents' early spring.
Yeah.
We'll be there as soon as the snow melts. We'll grab the bike.
Didn't get it. But that's okay, because we hopefully will be getting a Nordic Track commercial bike, like one of those stationary bikes. We're in talks with them to get one because they've been hooking us up for Gingermas for years, giving prizes away of the bikes, the rowers, the treadmills, and they're so generous with their gifts. And we were thinking, well, it would be great if we don't have the space, but we will make the space if it means we can have something like that for us to use to stay fit while staying indoors. So we thought this was a great opportunity to reach out to them and be like, hey, you're going to get a lot of people that are now working from home and trying to find fitness regimens. Can we get a bike and just show that it can be used for good? We had been holding off on getting one because we were hoping someday we'd have a bigger studio space. But because all of this is on hold, we're like, I mean, I'm looking at our room.
I know there's like no room, but we need to figure it out.
We're just going to basically need to put a lot of stuff outside and let it deteriorate in the rain.
Because I think if we have that will help alleviate. I'm having a hard time not feeling anxious when I'm out of our house and we're waiting kind of at off hours or during the rain to do our runs, because we live in a neighborhood, single family homes. But if it's really nice out during the day, it can get pretty busy.
Yeah.
So I'm just dealing with that side of my anxiety with that. But having said that, yoga has been amazing. And I think I've told you a million times, and you're probably tired of hearing it, but I feel like I'm getting super strong with my yoga, and like I'm doing some things that I haven't been able to do in the past. So that's my side of things. And what about you?
For me, being injured a couple of weeks ago, it's been a slow, very gradual dipping back into running. So I've mentioned it a couple times on Daily Brew, but my bike is out. I've kept that because it stores next to the desk in the corner of the room. It like leans up against the wall and just stores out of the way. So I'm able to pull that out and pop it on a trainer in this room and ride, like with Zwift and something, or on Zwift. Unfortunately, Kim doesn't fit my bike. Otherwise, we both use the same road bike. It would just put her at a really injury-inducing angle. So I've been doing a lot of that, but I've also been supplementing with really short runs. So I think the plan for the foreseeable future is to sweat at least once a day, for sure. So do at least 30 to 60 minutes of some sort of activity. That could be yoga, riding. If we can get outside and go for a run, great. Excuse me. But then supplementing that with the occasional 3 to 4 days a week, getting outside and doing anywhere from 3 to 5 miles. If we can, we're finding
more.
And
if it feels good on that particular day.
Yeah. So we're picking our time of day that feels good. We went running in the night during rain the other day, and it was mentally hard. It was hard because it's weird running around a city that's normally very busy, and it is immediately not.
It was dark. It was rainy. It was windy. We could have ran down the middle of like the busiest street in our neighborhood without seeing a car.
But for us, it's, it is what we have to do. So we'll continue to do that 3 or 4 days a week, getting in a couple miles. The goal here is not to get fitter for us. I know that there's a lot of people who are posting, I'm training for X race in the fall or next year, and I'm running all these miles and doing all these things. And for some people, that's exactly what they need right now. And we are supportive of that. We just want to maintain some level of fitness. So when things do start getting back to normal, or at least we're like trails start to open again, whenever that might be, we can start to slowly turn that dial back up. if we can maintain a semblance of fitness, we know that we can get back stronger and better than ever. I mean, I keep telling myself, look at people like Gary Robbins, look at people who have been taken out by injury for like months and able to do very little. So running is complete. Like Gary had to stop running completely. He, I believe, was able to do some biking from time to time, but he was doing a lot of cross training and stuff in his garage gym, training for Barkley. And then when his body finally started to allow him to run again, he cranked up the volume, and like within months, he's back to monster Gary. With yesterday's show, when Andy sort of mentioned that during the Barkley training camp that he, Jamil, and Gary went on, and Gary was kind of leaving him in the dust. I was like, damn, Gary put together a huge training pack to come back from that injury, and he managed to do it, and he sounds like he was super fit. So we can do it. We absolutely can do it. It's just going to require patience and diligence and stay as comfortable as you are, maintaining your fitness. That's basically.
And also, everybody's very different too. What's going to work for us may not be what's working for you. Like I said, I know some people are doing their highest mileage weeks right now, and that's fantastic. But also, like Ethan touched on it too, like there's a lot of posts out there being like, now is the time, you have all this free time, like get the fittest you can be and like whatever. And I honestly think that's bullshit. It's just kind of like, don't put added pressure on yourself to do something in this type of rare, super weird, super confusing time.
Right.
Unless that's what feels good for you.
Yeah, Amber said, didn't Gary have a huge hip injury? He did. He had multiple stress fractures, like not multiple at the same time, but he had one. He thought it healed. It happened again. It was a real bad injury. Okay, just checking in with the chat room. A lot of talk. Lee, we're sending you our love. Hopefully you just feel better, get better. A2B2 says, meeting is over. I can now turn the volume up. Good. I know many of you keep this open in a side tab while you can do your work. So we appreciate just even being
keep your
present.
work in a side tab.
Oh yeah, keep your work in a side tab.
Francois said, good luck getting one. It's been a month since I ordered mine, and they say shipping trucks are fine, but it's taking too long for them to be fine.
Stationary bike.
Yeah, we
were thinking we were going to get it last week.
Yeah, we were told we were getting it last week, and then
pushed another week.
So we're just like, if we get it, we get it, and that would be amazing. If we don't,
thankful no matter what. I've been debating buying a stationary bike so I don't overdo it with running. Yeah, that's kind of, so we don't have space for a treadmill.
It'd be amazing to have a treadmill. We just do not, like, we don't have, like, the bike is so much smaller than the treadmill, and we don't even have space for the bike.
Yeah. We went through the can we get rid of our couch? You know, we kind of go through those conversations.
Do we take the fridge and the oven, put them in the yard?
Put them in the yard and cook outside, our treadmill in the kitchen. Like, could that work? We just don't live in a big enough place, and we don't anticipate leaving it anytime soon. So for us, it was like, let's cram in as much as we can, which is going to be a bike. And
the bike is fun.
No,
too.
super fun. And that's the other thing is, it's got all the classes built. We'll talk about it when we get it.
Yeah.
Maybe show it during a brew so we can move on.
Maybe I'll do the brew on the bike the whole time.
Actually, wouldn't be. I mean, we can set this up. So right now, this is our stationary Ginger Winter live set, but we can always do it with
like on that one or
something.
Yeah,
you can do like a remote camera. Just move the camera around. We can get creative.
I like it. Deb said,
Kurt says, hey folks, sorry, been kind of just listening today, deadline stuff, but it's nice to hear and see folks. Kurt, we see and hear you. Wait, no. You see and hear. No.
We don't see you or hear you.
We know you're there.
We read you.
What's up, Ryan Thrower? What's up, dude?
Sup, dude? John Maxwell is here as well.
Oh, what's up, John Maxwell?
John says, and don't take too many risks that could require a hospital visit. Not the time for those resources when those resources are needed for COVID-19. Yes. And I think that is an important thing too, because there's a lot of people that are upset that the trails are closed. I know they're closing in some parts of California. They're closed here. I'm sure they're closed in some other parts of the country as well. But it's not, I think the main point is like, it's not about you. And by going and thinking you're social distancing or physical distancing by going doing this like amazing remote whatever, it's like if you need rescued, That's like, that's not good. That's resources that they desperately need.
Yeah, and it's this is a moment where I'll be a little preachy, but I've been seeing photos and stuff on social media of people out there doing backcountry skiing still, people doing deep backcountry trail runs still. In my mind, I'm going on a typical summer or winter day. That is totally good. I'm the worrier that thinks of the worst case scenario. That's part of my faults, but it's also like, don't take the resources away. Like if something happens, God forbid, if something happens, I would hate
Yeah.
for medical resources to be used for someone who could have just avoided the risk altogether in a situation like this. Was debating the Nordic Trek S22i, but it is pricey. It is, Nat, for sure. When you compare it, I think it's on sale. It's cheaper
When
than the
I was
Peloton.
looking at it like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, it was like I want to say it was like $1,000 off or something. I think it was, I can't remember what it was. It was deeply discounted enough that I looked at you and went, "Are they discontinuing this?"
Yeah. So the way we worked it out in our head math wise was the Peloton was like $2,800. It didn't include the monthly subscription, which is another $30 or something with the Peloton. The Nordic Trek comes with the iFit, which is their classes, their programs and training, the videos, for a year. So you'd end up getting a year of that for free. The way we worked it out was like the math was actually pretty beneficial, and we were like much more sided towards the Nordic Trek. But
And also we were talking like if we would have a gym membership, how much would we pay for that?
Yeah.
2
Yeah.
gym memberships. And
Yeah.
I know a bike doesn't replace a gym membership, but I'm also like,
at this point, I wouldn't go to the gym.
I wouldn't go to the gym even when they open.
So we'll know more. So once we get it, we'll know more. We'll probably do like videos on it, both reviews, Instagram stories and stuff, because we don't know anything. We've only used them at like hotel gyms. We have friends that have some of these types of things and they're really fun. But this is going to be our first experience with something like this. I have never purchased gym equipment before.
No, me neither.
So I'm excited. And also like, I don't know, I think I'm just more excited because I can't wait to like take the classes or the 30-minute things. Should be fun actually, because I've been really liking the
I can't
bike
wait to
lately.
like try it and then overdo it on day one and then not be able to do it for like a week.
Yeah.
That's what happened. I borrowed our friend's like bike at their house weeks ago when I was injured, and like, oh, you can choose whatever classes. So I chose like a 30-minute class, and I was having so much fun. I'm like, I'm gonna do another one. This one looks hard, and I did it, and then I was like broken for 4 days after.
Yeah, and it'll be nice to ride next to each other because I can use my bike on the trainer, and you can use the other thing. What were you gonna say? Oh, Heather says, is 64 ounces of coffee too much?
Man, we do 1 cup of coffee a day, but there's definitely a lot of days where we're like, one more.
Mm-hmm.
Joel asks, what's the choice of today's brew? We're still drinking the same.
We're rationing our beans.
Ladro?
I think it's Cafe Ladro. Yeah.
Ladro.
Same bag that we mentioned last week, I think.
It's one of our favorites.
Yeah. There was a comment on last Daily Brew, which I thought was pretty great. Love these Daily Brew sessions. Working. God, sorry, I have Gus hair on my face, and it like it's just one of those things where it's like on my nose, in my beard.
You can like feel it.
Yeah, and nothing is getting it. I have got to shave the beard off because it just sucks up Gus hair. Love these Daily Brew sessions. Working, so I can't catch it live, but nice to hear you laugh and chat about random things. Love the wall behind you. Is that a topographical map of a favorite run, where you live, or just a random design? The color is great too. How did you come up with the idea? Love it.
And that was from Meg Collins.
There's the blue. And there's Daily Brew yellow. So this set design is new as in, I forget when I did it. I think I did it in December 2018 for Ginger Runner Live 2019 throughout the whole year, and we basically kept it ever since. So again, we've talked about this before, but we are sitting on a hearth. This used to be a wood-burning stove every day. Just above is the chimney where the exhaust tube goes out to the outside.
You got this.
I'm working through it. So this corner was completely. Do you even know what? I think that's people cheering. So you just gave me lots. That's probably a trombone. One of those is a trombone. So this was an unusable corner of this room. We couldn't because the hearth is lifted up about 3 or 4 inches. So there just wasn't much we could do with it. We started thinking, well, what about putting the Ginger Runner live set back there when we first moved into this house? So what we did is behind this wood is brick. So if you go back earlier episodes,
you'll see the ugly brick.
You'll see the ugly brick,
brown, yellowy wall.
Yeah, the wall color is like an orange, brown, tan, maybe just sand or Sahara, whatever the paint color name is. And so we put some frames and pictures and stuff up here, and it just never looked clean or professional. So what I did is I came up with the idea of let's cover the brick. So this is just a piece of wood with fake wood on it. I'm going to give away the secrets. That's fine. You guys are Patreon crew. You can know the secrets. These are panels of wood.
I think people know about the panels of wood because they actually have fallen down during live shows before. That's true.
We've come up with a more permanent solution, but these are panels of wood with fake wood on top of it. It's basically like fake flooring.
Ow!
Behind, there's a little ledge. It's a gap of about that big of a gap. Right on top is brick. That's brick right there. But then I put a string of LED lights that you can change the color, brightness, frequency. If I turn the brightness up too much, you'll notice. Let's see.
Do we usually not have that on?
Not for GR Brew, not for Daily Brew. If I turn the brightness up, it actually doesn't seem to be doing it today. But normally what would happen is the frequency goes out of sync with the camera shutter. Then this wall is, again, panels of wood that are attached to the actual wall. Because we rent this place, we didn't want to do anything permanent. So everything is removable. These panels of wood, which I don't want to push too hard because I don't want them to fall, are just the cheap wood you can get at Home Depot, but they're painted a dark gray blue. And then what I did is I projection mapped using angles and geometry, projected the topographical map of our favorite local mountain, Cougar Mountain. This is where we do most of our training. So I projected that topographical map onto the wall and used paint pens to draw the topo. I think I did a time lapse or something on Instagram with it, but that's sort of the build of this wall. And then Kim and I have these 2 chairs that sit. They are the only 2 chairs that fit on the edges of the hearth.
Is it called a hearth?
I
think a hearth is actually like a part of the fireplace stuff. This is just like the brick landing.
Riser? Brick landing.
We're sitting in a bathtub.
Brick landing also sounds like a great porn name.
Anyways, Ingen says, rough mental day here. Is it socially acceptable to plop the kids in front of the TV so I can scroll Tiger King memes? We're not parents, so we're not experts, but yes. Yes, you can do that.
As someone who has siblings who are parents.
Yeah. We have siblings who has
all of it.
Parents.
We have siblings that are parents.
That are parents.
Mm-hmm. Whenever they say, oh, I can't take care of my kid, or oh, they're just terrible devils this morning or whatever, I think our response is always, just put them in front of the TV. We always get the response, yeah, but that's not great. But honestly, you got to do you.
Heather is asking, do we grind our own beans? Yes.
Yes.
We do. Do you want to share? I'm clicking all over the place. Do you want to share this little thing? Because that ties into our show on
so on Sunday's show, the Daily Brew show on Sunday, we talked about January, February, March, April, the 30 days. So I mentioned that I
didn't know if March had 30 or 31 days.
Yes. And it's something since I was a kid, I just never learned, which is what month has 30, 31, February has 28 or 29. I would never know what month I was in and how many days it had.
And I said, isn't the knuckle thing a thing? So,
which I had never
January,
seen or
February,
heard.
March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December.
If you want to see my mind blown in real time, go back and watch that Daily
It was
Brew.
really funny.
So I talked about that, and the one I do remember my mom trying to teach me this following phrase, and Lindsay brought this up in the comments on the last Daily Brew. I remember the months by a little jingle from childhood. 30 days has September, April, June, and November. All the rest have 31 except February. That's the tune. And that was what my mom would always say. I'd be like, Mom, how many days are in this month? And she'd go, 30 days has September, April, June, and November. All the rest of 31, except for February. She would say that, thinking that just by saying
Come on,
it,
child, remember this.
I'd be like, oh, yes. So I have read this sentence that Lindsay posted probably 100 times since she posted it. And I still have to look at it to remember what the hell it is. 30 days has September, April, June, because my brain goes, the musicality of it is 30 days has September, 30 days has September, April, June, May, and November. So I throw May in there. May is not a 31 day or a 30.
Wait.
See, I'm already
February,
confused.
March,
Is it
April.
31 days has September? No, it's 30
No.
days. So this phrase has messed up my life. That's where I'm coming up, or that's where I'm at now. Is
Okay.
that's what's messed up my ability to know the months. This has been the easiest thing I could possibly have remembered.
Oh, and Kim
January
Wrinkle also says it. ATB2, that's what I learned.
Yes.
Travis, that's how I learned.
So
I'm Team Knuckle.
I'm Team Knuckle.
You're not Team I don't know?
I really don't. I'm tired of being Team I don't know. I'm almost 40, and I think it's time I know.
Okay.
But yeah, Kim, like so that phrase, that is what I grew up being told is the way to remember. The problem is just my brain would go, is it 30 days come September, or is it 31 days September, May,
And
June,
May.
November, and May? So Amber's confused, and that was my problem.
Use your knuckles, guys.
John's outside. I've always used the knuckles tricks for months. Team Knuckle, hashtag Team Knuckle, hashtag Knuckles.
I read that as I've always used the knuckle tricks for months. Like he just started like a few months ago and just been really leaning into it. Is that wrong?
Update on the mugs. Someone asked about update on the mugs. There was no update. Kim and I spent the weekend sort of finding sources of the mugs. We want to make sure that we do cool mugs. We've been looking at people's photos on the Facebook page and stuff. We're debating what design to put on them and stuff like that. And I think the best way to do this is doing a pre-order. That way, we like there's less inventory kept in house. So if we just ordered, let's say, 25 mugs, the risk is that 20 would sell. We'd have to keep 5 here. What we'd much rather do is know exactly how many we need to order those, ship them out. Good to go. So look for the pre-order in probably maybe this week. We'll figure it out this week. But what we want to do for those uninitiated or maybe new, GR Crew Daily Brew, we've been drinking out of these mugs, just various mugs every day. We thought it'd be really cool to have Daily Brew mugs.
And in fact, you guys thought it would be really cool.
Yeah, this is the crew. And we thought it would be neat if everyone could have a Daily Brew mug and, take pictures of their mugs wherever they are, that sort of thing. So we thought it'd be cool to make really nice mugs. There's a couple that we have that we drink out of that our friends have made that are really like hearty, heavy, good quality coffee mugs. And so we thought we would make a round of those, figure it out.
Mm-hmm,
So look for those. We'll probably do a pre-order. Yeah. And it'll help support us, I guess, is kind of, that's the goal. Would be great.
Amber says, if I could have one request for the mugs, large handles, please. We like large handle mugs.
We do as well.
Like the Tim Hortons ones that we were talking about have
Those
large
are great.
handles. The Hillbillies ones have large handles.
The Hillbilly one is kind of my goal mug.
Yeah.
The Hillbillies mug, which is, we used it maybe a couple brews ago. It's the black speckled kind of camp mug, but it's thick ceramic.
Yeah, it's not like the tin or
It's
whatever
not the
it
tin,
is.
which gets hot on your fingers. It's thick, so that mug never gets hot. The contents inside does stay hot, and the handle is super heavy duty. So we hope to do something like that, maybe a fun color or something. Are the mugs going to have a front and back design? Daily Brew one side, and we're in this together on the back? Possibly. I was just thinking that the front side is Daily Brew and the back side is hashtag Knuckles.
I learned the knuckle way.
16-ounce minimum for sure. I got to figure out.
Oh, how do you count the ounces? It's 1, 2.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Yeah, 16 ounces. Yep, you did it.
Ingan says, feel free to overprice them so we can support you. We're not going that. No. You guys already support us. A lot of the Aravaipa races give out mugs at the races. Yeah, Aravaipa does swag really, really well. As with everything we do swag-wise or like gear-wise, we want to make sure that it is good quality. So we'll talk to all of our sources and see if we can't get that figured out. Marie Claude says, Ginger Runner with a cap so that computers survive a day of work with me spelling coffee.
Oh, she wants a cups with caps.
Oh. We're going to look into options because, places where you can get custom mugs, they range. You've got the prices of the individual mugs can vary a lot. We're not going the cheap route. That's the bottom line. Those cheap mugs that you'll get at like a business convention or something, they're just a dime a dozen. They're super cheap. We're not going that route.
What business conventions are you going to?
I don't know why that's like, I don't know what.
Why was that where you went?
My brain went to, like a business convention. And then my other half went, no, like a real estate get together. I was like, what? Why are those the places that mugs happen? You know the ones I'm talking about. The cheap ones that you'll usually get for free for something.
Ooh, the lighting's really nice right now.
It's really good. It's really good. We'll figure out the specifics, but trust me, I am on your side. It's going to be high capacity, high quality.
Francois says 500 mils. That's 2 cups.
500 mils that's 2/3 of a bottle of wine. Because we learned 750 mils is a bottle of wine. And those cans that we got of wine at trail camp were half a bottle. We learned that one the hard way.
Yeah.
Potbelly mugs are good too. Holds lots. I don't know what potbelly mugs are.
I'm assuming it's like
Cafe Press. Yeah, Randy. So there are sites like Cafe Press that do the mugs, but they charge way too much.
And we'll try and maybe we'll look into where we can source them from.
Yeah, we're gonna try to source them to help people that we know, that smaller businesses and stuff. And Cafe Press and what is that? Zazzle. Those types of websites do custom stuff, but the quality is just not great, and it's just more like mass-produced stuff.
How do you say that word?
Decal?
How do I say that word?
Decal. Francois says maybe a decal option for cheaper international shipping. Shipping? A decal option. What's that? Like a sticker?
Decal option?
Like putting a sticker
That's
on
what I'm guessing.
We're possibly. One thing, so something I did look into this weekend, there is a local artist who does these stickers. Gretchen might know her, but they do stickers where you can take the length of them is perfect to go along the base of a mug or a water bottle. She designs the stickers to be for water bottles. And it's like a mountain range.
Jeans just posted about her.
And I saw that. I was like, oh, that'd be really neat for mugs. The problem is with heat-sensitive materials. If you have a hot liquid in a mug, that sticker won't last on the outside of the mug for a long time. So my worry is that with like a decal or a sticker, the durability is not going to be there. And the last thing I want is a Daily Brew mug with a floppy sticker on the outside. So we want to do
and like for dishwasher
and dishwasher
like that,
safe. Yeah. And yeah, we run into a lot of questions of how that'll last. So we will do it right. I promise. We'll do it right. Oh, Randy's. I was like, sorry about the caps. Randy in the chat. Sorry about the caps. And I look at his previous post, and it looks like Randy's just yelling. Jamil has his own art department. Get the mugs you like.
We know.
Yeah. I have talked to Jamil about some of what they do for merchandising stuff. I'm really curious about the equipment he's using, just because there are levels to equipment using for screen printing, heat transfer, sublimation printing, all that type of stuff. When you're dealing with ceramics, it's going to come to the quality of the ceramic. Like there's lots of things going on behind the scenes.
Gretchen Wall, yes, yeah. I think that's who we're
talking about.
I think
that is, yeah. Yeah, she's an amazing artist. Yeah, so we'll figure it out. But trust me, if you guys can do anything, just trust me. We'll make it so it's awesome. Okay, we'll make it awesome. I promise. And the goal is to help support some sort of local business and or artist and figure out exactly how we can do them the best and most affordable, high quality way possible. That's it. Anything else? I'm done with my coffee and I desperately need another cup.
Ooh, my cup's empty.
It's not great. I hate wrapping up daily brews because I always look forward to them, and they're a great way to sort of start
They're
the day.
getting longer and longer every day.
That's okay. How long is this one?
45 minutes.
No. Yes. That's okay. Obviously, when we're having fun, time goes by. So we hope that you enjoyed today's Daily Brew. We also skipped Daily Brew yesterday because we had Ginger Runner Live. So
that's true.
We're making up for 2 days of Daily Brews. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place, and hopefully we'll have some more news. But if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to discuss, drop them into the Patreon comments right now. So you've got, between now and tomorrow, because we'll go through the comments on these posts the following day.
Oh, Amber's asking where we get our coffee beans. Just grocery store.
Yeah,
It is a local, like the one that we're drinking today
Ladro.
is a local, what do you call them?
Distillery, brewer, roaster.
Yeah.
Cafe Ladro, Amber, you probably are familiar with their beans. They are served at a lot of different coffee places around the region, but Cafe Ladro, when I lived here, was really small, a couple shops in Seattle. Now they're, I believe, just much, much bigger. But their beans are roasted. I don't know. I just love their beans. I feel like it's
tasty. Really
tasty coffee, not super jittery. So it's not the type of coffee that puts you on that anxious edge. Yeah. Cool. We appreciate you all so much. And we appreciate you tuning into the Daily Brew. Tomorrow, episode 8. And Gretchen says more coffee.
I think she yelled more
coffee.
Sounds just like her.
Only made the mug chat, says Angie. Oh, that was my impression of Gretchen. More coffee.
That's why I said sounds just like her.
Gretchen, we might need a bunny update. Gretchen got a bunny.
Rhubarb.
So we might need that tomorrow. Thank y'all. We'll see you for more Daily Brew tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.